Welcome to another video. In this video, we're going to be talking about what's happening in Israel. This war between Israel and Palestine and the recent terrorist attack that was caused by Palestinians towards Israelites. So let's get started with the video. First of all, we need to understand who is right in this whole conflict. If you go to social media, you're gonna find a lot of comments of people saying free Palestine, or saying that Israelites are the bad people and that Palestinians are the good people. This whole conflict between Israelites and Palestinians is because of the land of Israel. Israel claims that the land is theirs, while Palestine claims that the land is theirs. So who is right? Obviously, one nation is wrong, and we're going to be talking about who's wrong in this video. First of all, we have to go back in time to understand what's happening. The first thing that I want to talk about is that the land of Israel, the state of Israel, belongs to Israel, to the Israelites. Why is this? Well, because it's in the Bible. As we know, the Israelites are the people of God, are the chosen ones. And if you read the Bible, you're gonna learn history. The Bible is basically the history of the world. Much of it is the history of the Israelites. In the Bible, God talks about the promised land, the land that he promised to the Jews, to the Israelites. To make this clear, Israel is the ancestral home of the Jews. So in the Bible, when God took the Israelites out of Egypt, because the Israelites were enslaved in Egypt for 400 years, then God came and rescued them and took them out of Egypt. That's when he opened the Red Sea. They went through the Red Sea, and then Pharaoh and all the troops were following the Jews, the Israelites, and then they died in the sea while the Israelites were able to run away. After living 40 years in the desert, God told them that it was time to go and take over the promised land, which was Canaan. That was the name of what we know now to be Israel. It was called the land of Canaan, and there was a lot of tribes living there. And the Israelites got in war with them and won the land because God helped them. God said that that land belonged to Israel. Obviously, the world belongs to God. Every land belongs to God, and he is the one who decides who is he gonna give the land to. So in this case, and in the Bible, it says that the land belongs to Israel. But why are the Palestinians fighting for this land? Well, Palestine means lands of the Philistines. So if you read the Bible, the Philistines were the enemies of the Israelites, and they used to live in the land of Canaan, but Israel won the war and took the land from them. So why are they still there? Well, the Israelites were expelled from Israel twice. The first time, it was by Babylon. Babylon and Nabucodonosor, that's the name of the king or the ruler at that time. He basically took over Israel, destroyed the temple, the first temple of Israel, and took the Israelites captive to Babylon, where they stayed there many years. After many years, there was a new ruler. This governor, told the Israelites to go back to their land, which is Israel, and build the second temple. The Israelites did this, and when they went back, they lived in Israel for many, many more years, until Christ came to the world 2,000 years ago. During the era where Christ was in the world, the Roman Empire was taking place. So basically, the Roman Empire was ruling on top of many, many countries. And one of the states that the Roman Empire had a power over was Israel. You know that Jesus, who is Yahshua, was crucified by the Romans, right? So after the crucifixion of Christ, which was in the year 33, more or less, a governor called Tito expelled the Jews from Israel. This is the second time they got expelled. This was around the year 70 after Christ. After the Jews got expelled from Israel in the year 70 after Christ, they never returned back until almost 2,000 years later. They got expelled in the year 70, and then World War II started in the year 1940. So this is almost 2,000 years later that the land of Israel didn't have any Jews in it. And during World War II, the Holocaust was happening. The Holocaust, as we know, is when the Nazis were doing a massive killing of Jews. After the Nazis lost the war in 1945, the Jews didn't want to go back to their houses in Europe because they didn't want to go back to their anti-Semitic neighbors. So a lot of them moved to America. There was a huge amount of Jews who moved to South America and another huge amount that moved to North America. So there's a big community of Jews in Argentina, and there's a big community of Jews in New York. And then another big community of Jews moved back to Israel. So they went back to their land after 2,000 years later. But the thing is that when they went back, Israel wasn't called Israel anymore. It was called the Palestine Mandate. The land wasn't being ruled by the Palestinians or the Arabs. It was actually being ruled by Great Britain. And during this time, the United Nations and all of the countries were protecting the Jews because of the Holocaust. So, in May of 1948, the Palestine Mandate that Great Britain had with the Palestinians was going to expire. So Britain promised the land to both Israel and Palestine. But the problem here is that the Palestinians didn't want to sign any peace treaty with Israel. They didn't want to give any portion of land to the Israelites, to the Jews, which didn't make sense because in reality the land belongs to them. So let me give you this example. It's like if you are from another country and you come to the United States for a better living, right? That's what a lot of immigrants do. So we come to the United States for a better living, and then after 40 years, 50 years, we go back to our country or to our city where we have our house, right? And then after 50 years of coming back, there's another family living in your house and they don't want to get out of your house. They're like, this house is ours, even though the house belongs to you. This is basically what's happening between Palestine and the Jews. But the difference is that the Jews and the Israelites didn't leave Israel because they wanted to leave or because they were trying to get a better life in another country. No, they were forced to leave Israel. They were expelled by the Roman Empire back in those days, 2,000 years ago. So since the Palestine Arabs didn't want to sign a peace treaty, Israel had to declare independence war in May 14 of 1948. In this date, it was when when Israel became a state. Because obviously Palestine is Arab, they're Islamic, and in a lot of countries around Israel are Arabs and Islam, and they practice Islam, right? So these countries are Lebanon, Syria, Jordania, and Egypt, of course. So these four countries surround Israel, and Israel had to fight in a war with these countries. So in May 14 of 1948, Israel declared the independence war and they won. So Israel won the war with Syria, with Lebanon, with Jordania, and with Egypt. So the land belongs to Israel, first of all, because God gave it to them, and second of all, Israel fought for that land again, and they won that war in 1948. But the Palestinians and the Arabs never accepted this defeat, and they continued to declare more and more wars since 1948. Every war they continue to lose, so Israel continues to win the wars. There's even a saying that says that if the Palestinians stop fighting, there would be peace between them. But if the Israelites stops fighting, then there would be no Israel. Israelites, they just want to live in peace in their land, in their country that belongs to them. The reason that they attacked today is because today is the 50th anniversary of the War of Yom Kippur. There's like many reasons that they attacked today. First of all, Israel wasn't aware. Why is this? Because it was a Sabbath. They attacked on the 7th of October. They attacked on Saturday, 6:30 a.m. So it was a Sabbath. Israelites, the Jews, they don't work on Saturday. I believe that the only ones that work is if you work in a hospital. Not only that, but it was actually the ending of the Sukkot feast. And the Arabs, the Palestinians, knew this. So they attacked. And also, the third reason is because it was the 50th anniversary of the War of Yom Kippur that happened in 1973. And today is even worse. They compare this war with the one in 1973 because they were the worst wars between Israel and Palestine. They entered Israel through land, through water, and through air, and they didn't use any airplanes to enter through air. It was worse. They used parachutes. They came down and they started killing any people, not even military. They were killing children, they were killing women, they were killing old people. They also took a lot of women and children and old people captive. Why is this? Because they knew that the Israelites were going to defend themselves and they were going to attack Gaza. But if they have people there that are from Israel, they won't attack as hard. So basically, that's what's happening between Israel and Palestine nowadays. That's why the war is taking place. Also, I explained to you who has the right of the land, which is Israel. So guys, that's everything for this video. I hope you guys like this video, and please, 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 let's pray for Israel. God bless you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.